A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Parul Grover, Assistant Professor, Delhi Metropolitan Education. On behalf of the DME Management School, I welcome you all to the workshop on role of sustainable practices for business, growth, roadblocks, and scope of research, organized by the Center of Excellence for Sustainable Development, the research cell of DME Management School. My co-host in this session is Ms. Roli Wadhwa, Assistant Professor, DME Management School. We also have with us Professor Dr. Ravikant Swami, Dr. Isha Jaswal, DME Research Cell, Head, Professor Dr. Purva Ranjan, DME Management School Head, and Dr. Swati Jain, Head, DME Outreach. Amidst multiple reports of climate change, growing disparities, volatile markets, food and water shortage, health and sanitation concerns, our world faces an enormous challenge of balancing the needs of the society, the environment, and the economy. As a socially responsible organization, we at Delhi Metropolitan Education aspire to generate awareness and action on sustainable development practices. The Center of Excellence for Sustainable Development aims at pursuing research and formulating practical solutions for the adoption of sustainable management practices so as to strive towards sustainable development. With this view in mind, we have with us Dr. K. Mathiyazghan, Associate Editor, Environment, Development and Sustainability Journal in Springer, Impact Factor 1.6. Dr. Mathiyazghan has over 10 years of research and teaching experience. He is an associate editor of Environment, Development and Sustainability, Springer, with impact factor of 2.1, and editing special issues in multiple journals like International Journal of Physical Distribution and Logistics Management, which is an Emerald listed journal, impact factor 4.7, category A of ABC listing, International Journal of Logistics Management, IJLM, impact factor of 3.3, listed in category A of ABDC listing, and sustainability journals. His publications are in reputed journals such as IJPE, IJPR, PPC, IEEE, TEM, JCP, RCR, IGAMT, etc. Recently, one of his papers awarded as Excellent Citation Award by Emerald Publisher Limited. Dr. K. Mathiyazghan received the Best Reviewer certificate from many reputed journals. Sir, we welcome you to the workshop on role of sustainable practices for business, the growth, roadblocks, and scope of research. With this, now I hand over the forum to Dr. Mathiyazghan. Welcome, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the nice introduction. First of all, I would like to give my sincere thanks to you and the your head of the department, under that actually my close friend the Korag madam and the your institution. So where I can able to interact with the young mindset, where actually the we can say the young energy will always will drive the our entire world. Just today what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share my experience. I'm not at all going to give the any kind of the presentation kind of the we can say teaching. Just I'm going to share the experience. What is with the sustainability, how the sustainable business models will be there, how the sustainable business product will help us to improve our profit, and especially what are the roadblocks will be there, what are the enablers, what are the sustainable practices will be there, and different industries. What I organize such a presentation where like is an introduction and also my research work, what I have done and where it is published, how this will help the students to get some idea. So within a day, they can't able to get the, just like that they can able to work immediately. But I have get an idea so that they will get a little bit motivation towards on these areas. Especially in your institute, you are having the separate school for the sustainable development, if I'm not wrong. Is it right, ma'am?
We have a research center.
A research center. So separate
to sustainable development.
Yeah. So that it will be helpful to get a more ideas and all, right? Just I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible? Is it visible? My screen?
Yes, it's visible, sir.
Okay. Yes. Very good afternoon to everyone. The presentation title, not exactly presentation, madam, madam, if you don't mind, can you yourself just to take the host so that you can able to admit the other students.
So you have been made the co-host so that you can share your screen. Otherwise, we are
Okay.
looking at the waiting room. No worries on
Okay.
that.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you. Basically, the presentation, that's kind of the, I told you the beginning, the presentation is not a presentation, it's kind of the experience which I'm going to share with you. In the title of the, what are the role in the sustainable practices for the business growth, and what are the barriers or roadblocks, and what are the further the scope of the research work, which will discuss the one by one. Actually this presentation organized the brief profile about myself, what I've done, and so what are my research areas, and already the madam given the details. In addition that, just I want to add some point, so that I just kept this in the last. Then what is meant by the sustainability? Then what is meant the sustainable business model, sustainable indicators, what are the enablers for sustainability, sustainable practices, and what are the roadblocks for the sustainability development? So, see, first one, what is the need? Basically, why the sustainability is important? What was the purpose? How this is going to give us some solution for the issue? Yes, it is needed. These days, without sustainability, we can't able to do anything activities which will give the profitable. We want to, as a, let's say, we are as a manufacturer, we can't able to produce a product just like that. We need to follow the some rules and regulation which is proposed by the government. These days, with the global warming, every industries or every person have to take the responsibility to make sure that climate control should be not only the climate, global warming should be under control, right? Here the necessity is the first one is a climate change. Whether I hope you will, I hope you have some awareness. Every year, sea level is increasing 1 mm to 2 mm because of the global warming. So if it's the things are moving like this way, very soon most of the, we can say, the good water. So when the sea water is reaches to the, we can say the sea level is increases, ultimately our good water, the fresh water, that is overall the worldwide only 2.5% only is there out of 100. So out of the 2.5%, only 0.5% of the water is only the we are using. The out of the 0.5%, we are utilizing maximum amount of water for the irrigation, that is agriculture purpose. So only less than 10% only we are utilizing the domestic aspect. So the first one is sustainability will bring the solution for the climate change. And the green energy. Green energy means it will make sure that the effective utilization of our resources, right? The next one is a resource consumption. It's a very important thing. Day by day, the demand is increasing. Simultaneously, the resources, availability of the resources are less. Otherwise, not traditional way of the resources is less. We need to find out the alternative. Let's say these days, instead of the going for the coal-based power plant, people are industrial developed countries are forcing the developing country go for the renewable energies like a solar power plant and wind. These are the things. So resource consumption will give the, when we are thinking about some solution for the resource consumption to control, sustainability is the right choice. Simultaneously, financial crisis and recession. So the name itself, sustainability will ensure the cubic utilization. Ultimately, we can able to reduce the we can say production price by means of make sure that the zero waste, so that we can able to get the better benefit. As an industry perspective, as an industrialist, I always want to get the better profit. So better profit means I have to invest the less, I have to get the more. So recession, once everything channelized, once everything is we can say structured way, then we can able to go for the avoid the such a recession. And access to water. I told you only 0.5% of the good water is fresh water is available in the world to we can say usable. What about the remaining 2%? These are 2% of water is available in the polar. That is the Arctic places, but it is stored. So we can say if you want to take that water, that's a you need to invest a huge amount. So that is the reason the people are, we can say, forcing the industries, the governments are, all the governments are forcing the industries to go for the water treatment plant efficiently. Then food crisis. Yes, I told you, if you see this one, you will come to know once you are in the sustain. If you make sure that the sustainability environment, then you can get these kind of we can say good air, and also we can say the greenery environment. It will force us to it will give you the benefit of avoid the food crisis, everything. Then we can able to avoid the poverty, because in the sustainability, triple bottom line will be there. What is the triple bottom line? That is one is economic, environment, and social. We'll see further. Okay. What is a sustainable business? Basically, sustainable business means it is a kind of the designing the sustainable business model involves looking at every part of the business and asking 3 questions. When we are thinking about the sustainable business, we can say 3 questions really. What are 3 questions? The first question, how can we improve our sustainability outcomes? By either reducing our impact or doing the more good. Impact means negative practices or negative activities, which will dilute the quality of our environment, our circumstances. Okay. Then how can we create a more valuable for our customers? So whatever we are doing, any activities related to the business growth, it is directly connected with the customer satisfaction. Once the customers are satisfied, definitely we will get the continuous demand. So always all the industries want to keep their customer in the markets alive. So these days, a customer having the lot of we can say awareness about the sustainability. So they are having the awareness what kind of the product they want, whether those products are really going to give the sustainability improvement or going to give the bad impact on the society, right? Then the third question is, how can we generate the more profit for our business? So what kind of business we can say we can able to get the profit? Like I said, note the focus on the profit, not margin. So profit means basically the something different. If you want to get, like say, the profit in the positive way, you have to reduce the production price. Okay, but in other way also you can say increase the profit by means of increasing the margin. So we should not go further that aspect. If you are going for the margin, increasing the margin, definitely the customers will find the alternative product in the market, right? Now coming to the sustainability. See, next one is the sustainable business. We'll see what is the sustainability. Basically, sustainability, I told you, triple bottom line. What is a triple bottom line? It is environment, economic, social, right? The environment, what is the environment? Environment aspect, it is related to the deal with the energy, greenhouse gas emissions, and buildings. Okay, greenhouse gas emission, building, and water and gas emission, like I said, from the automobile industry. Okay, like I said, transportation, then residual materials, and greening and biodiversity, right? So under the social perspective, what are things important? What are the focusing area? Social aspect. First one is a service culture. So that people as a customer or consumers are feeling better, and so they are having this reliable mindset, and implies more employment and community development and soundscape management, so that it will be better development. And the third one is economic perspective. Triple bottom line, the third one is economic perspective. Under the economic perspective, what are things we are focusing? Let's see, a responsible for the procurement, and the next one is a engine of the economic development. Engine of the economic management. Actually, the economic aspect is an important aspect of the triple bottom line in the industry view. Okay, social okay, environment okay, but apart from that, as an industry person, I'm always want to get the better profit. Then only I can able to think about to environment friendly practices implementation and social development the activities I can able to do it. If I'm not able to satisfy the profit, like I say, economic aspect, definitely I can't able to do the any activities related to the sustainability. Okay, according to the Velva and Ellenbergs in 2001, they clearly stated that what is when many industries started to adopt the differing the practices toward the sustainable development, which they defined as the creation of the goods and services using the processes and the systems that are non-polluting, conserve the energy and the natural resources, are economically viable, safe and healthy for employees, communities and consumers, socially and creatively rewarding, we can say, for all working people. The holistic view, ultimately, we want to utilize the resources in the effective way, the energies, and also we make sure that the employees who are working in the place, they feel the healthy and safe environment. And so the improvement should be not only 1%, should be the community development, and the development means it should be the, we can say, consumer satisfaction. Okay, and also we need to, we can say, make sure the rewarding for all the people who are working these activities. This is called the sustainability development, sustainability aspect, right? Then, so sustainability business. Okay, what is a sustainability business? Development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Let's say, as per the UN Commission in 1987, they clearly point out that the Woodland Land Commission clearly pointed that we need to meet the current demand without, we can say, without compromising the future generation demand. So for them also, there's resources needed. We should not, we can say, utilize the resources, whatever available, we should not utilize right now. We have to think in the future generation also, the resources needed. So we need to take the necessary action or necessary practices to ensure our business growth, okay, without violate the future generation needs. Understood? This is a sustainability business. Okay, let's see. Why sustainability is become as a very, we can say, trend, and we can say very hot area. This is the see here. There is one, we can say, the statistics. See here, the percentage of the growth of jobs requiring business and sustainability. See here, like every year, whatever pen. So July, January, then July again, say, we can say January, July, and January, and July, and every year the last, we can say, we can say, it is started because the 15 years before, the 15 years, like 2005 to 2010, what is the status happened? So how this one can initiated? Instead of the nowadays, everybody have the, we can say, the awareness about the sustainability. So we need to see that when it is initiated, how the growth is started. So 15 years before, in 2005, the initial started, we can say, the percentage growth is very less. Then the gradually increasing in 2010, it is extreme. So if you see the percentages, 1,300 percentages increased compared to 2005. Yeah, in the year of the 2005, in 2010, drastically increasing the sustainability demand from the industry aspect and also customer aspect and the government aspect, right? See that just for the, we can say, this is I got this information from the website. That is a good one. What they mentioned, that greenpeace.com, that is a demand for sustainability. Demand for sustainability, knowledge. Let's see. 85% knowledge of sustainability knowledge is valuable, and also they have demand for the knowledge world would be rise in 5 years, right? So drastically we can say, out of 1,300 business professional, see here, 1,300 professional, see here. So the increases the knowledge is demand is, we can say, 85%, and also again it will increase 78% for next 5 years. Okay, see here, what is the holistic view of the business model for the sustainability architect. Okay, see here, technological and social. Okay, technological, social, and organizational. Three aspects of how the sustainable business model will be there. The technological, under the technological, that is the primary concern is maximize the material and the energy efficiency, and the second one is create the value from the waste. Create the value from the waste means basically it's a kind of the waste management and substitute with the renewable and natural processes. I told you we need to find out the we can some substitute renewables and also natural process instead of the non-renewable. Okay. Then in the social aspect, the other three important perspective will be there. That is a deliver functionality rather than the ownership, so that more response will come, and adopt the stewardship role and encourage sufficiency. And under the organizational two impact aspects, one is the repurpose for the society and environment. We need to check because we know that customers never keep the demand for the same demand for the long period. Every day the demand is keep on changing. So we need to check how we can say our organizational practices will be related to the social aspect. So we need the changes and how our practices going to give a bad impact on the industries. Right? Day by day, the growth is more. Simultaneously, the pollution also more. So we need to take the necessary actions to avoid such a pollution. So because the small, we can say the small amount of the pollution for day by day, it will lead the global warming. If it's a global warming is increasing, then sea level increases. When the sea level increases, definitely our life cycle will disturb. So if the life cycle disturb, then n number of the new disease, n number of the we can say problem will come. Okay, we need to make sure that what type of the you can say disease are, what type of the growth is industries are doing. Let's see. Some type of the examples are given for each category. Under the maximize the material and the energy efficiency, low carbon manufacturing. We need to use the low carbon manufacturing and the solution for the issue. Under this one, the lean manufacturing will be there, because we want to maximize the materials and the energy efficiency to make sure the cubic utilization. So we can go for the low carbon manufacturing, lean manufacturing, where we can able to find out the waste and eliminate the waste. So additive manufacturing, where we don't want to do any additional operations to remove the material. Layer by layer, we can able to give the shape of the final product. That's additive manufacturing. Dematerialization, like as our products and dematerialization packaging means it is good for the environment friendly activities. Then increase the functionality, like I said, to reduce the total number of the products are required. Then the next one is under the create value from the waste activities. Circular economy, that is a closed loop. The next one is a gradable and industrial synthesis, reuse, recycle, remanufacturing. That is a 3R. Then take back management. So the take back management means it's a kind of the when there is an issue that actually the manufacturer is supposed to come and they have to take responsibility to, we can say, give the solution for we can say their product and services. Use excess capacity, right, and sharing the assets, like is shared ownership under the collaborative consumption, so that the better benefit will come. So shared assets means kind of the we can say outsourcing and the extended producer responsibility. So that everybody will get the responsibility to do the we can say collective action to make sure the sustainable development. Okay. The third perspective of the technology, substitute with the renewables and the natural process, move from the non-renewable to the renewable energy source. I told you initially the sustainability in definition. Then solar and wind power based energy innovations, zero emissions initiative, and blue economy and bio MMC, the natural straw manufacturing and green chemistry. And under social three aspects, what are the examples will be there? Delivery functionality rather than the ownership. Under this one, the examples are product oriented PSS, then maintenance, extended warranty, use oriented PSS, that is the rental, lease and share, and the result oriented PSS. Then pay per use private finance initiative, that is the PFI. Then design build finance operate, that is a DPFO, and the chemical management service, that is CMS. The next one is under the social aspect is the adapt stewardship role, biodiversity protection and consumer care, promote consumer health and well-being, ethical trade. We need to follow
I'm
the
sorry
ethics.
to interrupt you in between. I'm really sorry, but can you adjust your camera angle? We are unable to see you completely.
Is it okay, man?
Yes, sir. Now that's perfectly fine. Thank you so
Okay, sir.
much.
Okay, sorry. Chal, okay. Let me make sure that this should not happen. Is it okay now? Clear?
Yes, sir. It's fine now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Now, so under the adopt the stewardship, the ethical trade, that is a fair trade. That should be, we can say, the ethical trade means under sustainable business model, we should not go to any block down. Like you say in India, there's a every time there is a onion price will increase. Every time means in a particular year, sometimes the artificially the onion price will increase because of the, we can say, agents used to loot the huge amount of the onions stored in the block godown. So artificially they will increase the price. It is an unethical trade. So we need to think about the ethical trade. And also choice editing by the retailers. So radical, we can say, transparency about the environmental social impacts under resource stewardship, and the encourage sufficiency. Encourage sufficiency means kind of the under the encourage sufficiency consumer education, like as models under communication and awareness. We need to create this communication awareness by means of the prototype the model, so that the consumer will get the better idea instead of they're having the normal idea, because consumer may not have the ideas in terms of the proper parameters. When we are going to promote these things, then they will get the better education. Then demand management, including the cap and trade, right? And slow fashion and product longevity, premium branding, limited availability, frugal business, responsible product distribution, promotion. Like these are the under the encourage sufficiency. What about the organizational aspect of the sustainable business model? Two perspective will be there. One is a repurpose of the society, environment, and the develop scale up solutions. Right. First one is the repurpose of for society and environment. Let's see. Not for profit. So as an organization, when they are going to propose it the sustainable business implementation, they should not feel that this is a, we can say, just for only profit. Instead of the profit, they have to feel that they are having the responsibility to take care of their society and the employees, and also we can say the country. Okay. Hybrid business, social enterprises for profit. Okay. Next one, see, alternative hybrid business means, okay, let's say you are having the good expertise in the, we can design, I'm having the good expertise in the manufacturing, some X is having the good expertise in the sustainable practices implementation. So we all three will together will have the collaboration, will think about the, we can say, profit. But the profit activity should not violate the sustainability growth, right? Alternative, that is alternative ownership, like as a cooperative, mutual and collectives, right? That farmers and all. So these are the alternative ownership, so that everybody will have the responsibility. Social and biodiversity regeneration initiative, like as a net positive. Then base permit solutions and localization and the home page flexible working. Develop scale up solutions. Okay. Collaborative approaches, that is sourcing and production, the lobbying. Okay. Then incubators and the entrepreneur support models. It is this aspect we want to develop the scale and the solution for the issues, right? Then licensing and franchising and open innovation, that's a platforms. Platform open innovation means the government is these days they introduce the, we can say last year, then we can say last time they introduced the digital India. What is the digital India and make in India? Make in India means we don't want to depend on any, we can say, product in the we can say abroad. Whatever we need, we have to make ourselves. That is a make in India. It is a good concept, but unfortunately, the implementation is not good at what they Okay, initially proposed what they committed, that time the implementation is not that much good. So that much good, and also because of the pandemic situation that actually diluted totally, right? Crowdsourcing and funding. Crowdsourcing and funding, let's say sustainability, when we are thinking about the sustainable business model, based upon our practices, based upon the idea, we can say collect the funding for our business. That is a open funding, right? The crowd funding, right? Then fashion, slow capital collaboration. Basically, the sustainable business activities never give the initial, let's say, immediate outcome, immediate return. So we need to wait for the outcome. But remember one thing, it is a long-term aspect. Without the sustainability business model, no industries, no one can't able to get the profit for the next generation and for the furthermore years and all. So this sustainability is one of the important aspect. So I hope you will understood that what is a sustainable business model in architect in the industries. Okay. Architect, I know that what is a sustainable business strategy? What type of we can say the strategy I have to keep, right? So basically, it's a sustainability business strategy. First one is align the workforce, leadership abilities, long-term customer relationship, tax savings, cost reduction, future planning. Like align the workforce means we know that the customers never keep the same demand. So based upon demand, we need to align the workforce means sometimes we need to give the training for workforce. Sometimes we need to send our workers to some other abroad, other companies, other places to learn the new technologies. Leadership abilities. So based upon the empowerment, based on the entrepreneurship, the kind of skills, we need to make our employees to become as a leadership capacity so that they can able to lead our business. Okay, then long-term customer relationship. I told you whatever we are doing any business activities, it's related to the customer satisfaction only. If the customers are not satisfied, the just-in-time lean concept, and we can say sustainability or green concept, and the next one is we can say Kanban and any agile activities, any activities, nothing. Ultimately, all the activities are towards to reach a consumer benefit. Consumer benefit means as a satisfaction. Satisfaction means the consumer always want to pay the less, but they want to get the more benefit, right? Then cost reduction. Then future planning. So cost reduction, we can able to reduce the cost with the help of the predetermined structure of the work process. And future planning, it's related to the future planning, it's related to the forecasting. What kind of we can say current trend is going, what kind of we can say forecasting in future we can able to do it. Then effective recruitment, then another said the effective recruitment policy. Recruitment policy, without manpower, without source, we can say manpower, we can't able to achieve it. This is all the activities of the teamwork. So we need to make sure the proper policy for the what kind of the recruitment that we are going and what kind of the benefit the employees will get it. Okay, and we need to give the motivation, and we need to motivate the employees. That is a recognition in terms of awards, rewards, we can say prizes, incentives, right? Then next one is a skilled trader person. That means we need to make sure that the skilled people so that they can able to get the better benefit by means of the more involvement. Not ready so overtime. We want to make sure there is zero overtime, because this is a systematic approach. We don't want to dilute the systematic approach to make sure that overtime. What is the overtime? This is the uncertainty in the workplace. Because uncertainty, we need to put the extra effort. The extra effort means overtime work from the consumers, employees, so that it will completed the task. But what we need to do, we want to go for in advance to select all the scheduling and control it and make sure that there are no overtime activities. Then planning for the employee retention. So once you are focused on the triple bottom line, ultimately we can able to give we can say your employees retention. Okay, then so we need to we can say have the discussion or offer platform chit chat with the Employees, we need to listen to what is the problem and how we can able to, we can say, engage them in our work. And what way we can able to, we can say, give them some kind of the support to them in terms of financial or we can say some other activities aspect. So that is these are the way to make sure the sustainable business effectively. So strategy is planning. If you are having such a plan in advance, you can make sure that 100% possible for the achievement of the sustainable business in your industry. Okay, I told you I will discuss with you just for the, we can say, what are the frame, we can say, basic thing, and also my research paper aspect. In the first research paper, I just focus on the what are the enablers for sustainable business, especially this work is published, we can say, we did in the 2014 in textile industries. Why we have selected the textile industries? Because the work, the research work is, we can say, target in the South India, especially in Coimbatore. In the Coimbatore, most of the industries are, we can say, from the, we can say, textile background only. So so that it is easy to collect the information. For that reason, we have did this research work on the, which way in the textile industry perspective, right? So what is from the enablers? Before going to discuss what I have done, just I want to tell you what is meant by the enablers definition. Sustainable supply chain management, that is the SSM practice implementation research in motivational activities called as enablers. Some practices we are going to implement, that practices going to give some outcome result, that the practices called as enablers, which industries must consider. Like the Grace Bosker 2012 defined the enabler as a one that enables another to achieve an end. It is a one that enables another to achieve an end. Okay, where the word enable means to make able, to give power means competency or ability. Understood? But the word enable means to make the ability, able to give the power means competency or ability. Understood? And enabler is considered a variable that motivates the attainment of the sustainable supply chain management practices. Understood? These are the enablers, right? Okay. In practice, all enablers do not ensure the similar impact for the sustainable adoption in the industries. Yes, every enabler have the different impact will be there. Different impact, and also every enabler having the different perspective from the different industries. Okay, industries must identify the best initial enabler to be considered for the sustainable supply chain management implementation. I hope you will understood that why we did the research work. The that time the Coimbatore, the most of the industries are, we can say, they want to become a sustainable business model, but they are struggle to what type of the, we can say, which type of the enablers they're we can see getting more motivation to implement the sustainable supply chain management practices. So we did the around 7 months survey. After 7 months survey, we have decided to go for this research work with help of the expert discussion research gap. Right. What is the research work? Basically, analysis, the title of the research work is the analysis of the enablers for implementation of sustainable supply chain management, a textile case. Right. The paper is published in the Journal of Cleaner Production. It's elsewhere. Its impact factor is 7.4. Okay. And also in the, it is indexed in the ABDCA category. Right. Then, so what are the enablers we are considered for the textile industry's perspective? First one, employment stability, then health and safety issues, then community economic welfare, adoption of the safety standards, adoption of the green purchasing, then adoption of the green practices, eco design, and government regulations, hazard management, customer satisfaction, environment, cost, and the economic input infrastructure, then improvement of the product characteristics. Okay, see here. Actually, we were considered the 13 enablers here, but actually initially we have collected more than 70 enablers. But The 70 enablers are not collected from the only Indian aspect. Worldwide, there from the literature we have collected the 70 enablers. Then we had, I told you, 7 months we had a discuss. We can say we did the surveys. During the survey, we have discussed with the, we can say, many experts in the textile background. We can say expertise, and so those are having the more than 15 years experience. We are consider them the expert for our work. From then, what we did, we have circulated the 70 enablers, which will, whether those 70 enablers will fit for the in Indian aspect, especially South Indian textile aspect or not. Then what they do, they were, we can say, ignore the most majority of the enablers. Then finally, they were, we can say, concluded the, we can say, 13 enablers will be suitable. When we are going for the more enablers, it is a way, it will give the more, okay, confusion will be there. Then after that, what we did, we have arranged the one workshop, 1 day workshop, when we have invited the experts, more than 100 experts, and they were gathered, and also we defined our research work, objectives, everything. Then they given their inputs. Based on the input, what they did, we found the which are the out of the 13 enablers, which are the considered as the influential role. Influential role means which are acting as a more motivation for the textile industries to implement the sustainable supply chain management practices. So we did this work with the help of the interpretive structural modeling. It is a one, we can say, approach. It will make sure the graphical representation of the interrelationship between the factors. Relation between the factors. Here the factor means enablers. See here, I told you 13. Out of the 13, like employment, stability, health and safety issues, community economic welfare, adoption of the safety standard, and adoption. These are the acting as a more, we can say, motivational or more weightage on the implementation of the sustainable supply chain practice in the textile industries, right? So which one is the very least bother one? This is the adoption of the green purchasing. Like I said, this is the least. The reason is just we are going to, we can say, adoption only the green purchasing, but without employment stability, we can't able to achieve the sustainable business growth. And also, if the health and safety issues are, we can say, we are not, we can say, rectified, that is also we can't able to achieve the business growth. And also, the economic development should be the not individual, should be the economic, we can say, commute level, right? Another one thing is health and safety issues. Definitely it is connected with the adoption of the safety standards. What are the safety standards will be there? Then next one is the adoption of the green practices. Then okay, so sir, enablers, okay, enablers we need to, we can say, enable and the ability of the, we can say, some, we can say, factor which will enable the sustainability. That is sustainability enabler. Now indicator, what is the indicator? Basically, next one is the sustainable indicator. Sustainable indicator means it's a sustainable development indicators or statistics there that are used to measure the social equity, economic growth, institutional capacity, and environmental protection to ascertain the different dimension and the levels of the sustainable development. Like it. What are the sustainable development core indicators? Let's see here. I told you there are a triple bottom line. Economic, environment, social. Economic is a gross national product, that is it will ensure the GNP and the investment and the cost and the profit value and the taxes will be there and the consumption and the production of the pattern. Under the, these are the things under the economic. What about the environmental aspect indicators? It's a good atmosphere. Yes. Then the land is a, we can say it is not polluted, there's good environment, and ocean, seas and coasts are perfect, so it is a good indication. Fresh water and biodiversity, that is, I told you, fresh water, because worldwide right now it's a 0.5% is the good water available. Even the 0.5% in the developed countries, still like a UK and USA, around 30% of the water out of in the 0.5% water, 30% of water is actually there, we can say wasted because of the leakages in the water transportation, right? They don't have the they are not able to, we can say, avoid the, or not able to, we can say, stop the leakages. So such a developed countries are still they are facing the problem for the leakage issue. Whatever the developing country be, it is the biggest issue. So we need to make sure that under sustainability, this water is one important activity. Okay, third one is the social. Like it's in the social, equity and equity and safety, health and population security. So this will ensure the indicator for the sustainability view, right? Okay, so I told you in this area I did the one research work. That is the research work is what are the sustainability indicator is there, and which sustainable indicator will help us to make sure the better implementation of the sustainable development practices. So basically the objective of these studies to analyze the sustainable development through the indicator and identify the key sustainable indicator which shows the better development in the Indian auto component sector. The previous studies discussed that studies are conducted in where? In the textile industry's background, but this study is conducted in the Indian auto component sector, especially in NCR region. Okay, what we did initially in the literature review, which leads to 15 indicators for the study, confirmed the development of the sustainability. Along with the literature review, we had a discussion with the experts. Collectively, we have finalized the 15 indicators. So I told you the experts means the 15 indicators are suited for the Indian small and medium enterprises to check their sustainable development aspect. Okay, this paper also published in the Journal of Cleaner Production, okay, in 2018. Okay, the title of this research work did application of the decision making, that is a D-metal approach, that decision making trial and evaluation laboratory to identify the influential indicators towards sustainable supply chain adoption in the automobile components manufacturing sector. Previous one I used the ISM methodology, here I used the D-metal approach. This paper also you can index in the ABDCA category, right? See here, basically what are the indicators I consider or analyzed here in this work? Total 15 indicators. What are the indicators there? Whether resource consumption rates are better, that's one indicator. Then embodied carbon and quality of air and soil, quality of air, soil and water. And the next one is here the SI1, SI2, SI3 means it is a sustainable indicator 1, sustainable indicator 2 for just for the, I have mentioned the notation here. Then the fourth sustainable indicator is protection of the quality and supply of the freshwater resources, then promoting sustainable agriculture and rural development, right? Then the rate of the complaints and how they were addressed. So what kind of the complaints are there and how they were addressed in the industry. Record the human rights and child labor complaints, because this is related to the society, right? Then employee turnover rates and cost. Okay. Then customer satisfaction, like through surveys or feedback and complaints. So we need to check what kind of the indicator, whether it is positive or negative. Customer satisfaction. And another one thing is CSR. What is CSR? Corporate social responsibility. Then education, public awareness training. Then the business efficiency. Business efficiency is a rate of adoption environmental management practices and what kind of the outcome we are getting from that implementation. Then productivity, that is a gross domestic product per capita. Then the rate of return and payback period for the capital investment. What are the rate of return and payback period for our initial capital investment, right? Then the last one is international cooperation for the accelerating sustainable development in countries and related domestic policies. So what kind of we can international cooperation there? What kind of we can say relation we are having we can say international level to get the more support Okay, these are the 15 indicators considered in this study. Okay, out of this one, so which one is acting as a key role, influential role? Yes, it is a sustainable indicator 2. If you see this one, it is a dimensional approach, graphical representation of a interrelation between the factors. All right, here so you may have the doubt, what is the difference between the previous one, ISM, and the dimensional approach? ISM methodology, it is an interrelationship, only it will show the driving factor. But here we can able to find out what are the causes, what are the effects. So how the sustainable indicator became as a topmost, why not the other factors, or not the other indicators? Okay, based upon the expert's opinion, with the help of the dimensional approach, we found the sustainable indicator 2, that is the embodied and the embodied carbon indicator plays a key role in the automobile, auto components, manufacturing industries for the sustainable development aspect, right? Okay, next one is sustainable supply chain management. We are going to discuss about the sustainable supply chain management practices in the mining industries. Actually, I want to show you the different perspective of the actual research work is, how the research work is happened and what are the outcome will be there. Like the initial we discussed the which one, the textile, next one is the auto component industry. Now the next one is we are going to discuss the mining industries perspective. Okay, let's say sustainable supply chain management. What is the definition of the sustainable supply chain? Basically, before going sustainable supply chain, it is like as environment, social and economic issues have become the more relevant in modern industries. Organizations need to focus on how to make the environmentally sound supply chains. Environmentally sound supply chain. Generally, very simple definition for the supply chain management is whatever the demand is, whatever demand we need to supply. Whatever demand we need to supply. That is called as a supply chain management. Okay, we can able to supply, or we can able to meet this demand as per the proper supply with the help of our partners, like as a vendor. So we can say suppliers and warehouse department. These are the suppliers and retailer and the wholesaler, right? Then here what is the actual definition? The management of the environmental, social and economic impacts and the encouragement of the good governance practices throughout the life cycle of the goods and services is called as a sustainable supply chain management. All right. So we know that environment, economic, social. If you're going to integrate 3 dimensions, then you will get the sustainability. If you are doing the chain action of these activities continuously, that is called sustainability supply chain management. Okay. What is the purpose? What we do? What it is going to give? To create the protect and grow long-term environmental, social and economic value for all stakeholders. So it will give the economical and the environment and the social, we can say, value for all the stakeholders who are there in the system, right? I told you. This paper is, we have discussed, we are going, basically this paper, see, I will show you something here. This paper is published in the resource policy, elsewhere in 2015. Impact factor is 3.986. Okay. Basically, what is the primary concern of this paper, research work? This paper is analyzes the identification of dominant SCM practices into the mineral and mining industries with the help of the ISM methodology. I use again the ISM methodology. Then the study has used 3 different research phases. So what are 3 different phases in the research work? We have done the 3 phases. What are the 3 phases? First one, the identification of the SCM practices from the literature, 1 phase. The second phase, interviews with the various department manager of Indian mining and mineral industries, right? Why we did this work? Because we want to finalize what are the practices which will fit for the Indian aspect, especially mining industries, mining and mineral industries aspect, right? Then the last one is what we did, survey of the mining and mineral industries for apply the ISM methodology. That's the expert's opinion. So initially collected the practices from the literature, then we had a discussion with the experts' opinion. For shortlisting, again, we applied the ISM we can say technique, which will give the interrelationship and also graphical representation of the driving and which are the driving practices, which are the driven practices. Right. See, in this paper, 25 SSM practices were considered, less than 6 categories. Okay. Finally, the approach has been applied to the 15 mining and mineral industry in India. Right. The results of the study are showing that suppliers of ISO 14000 certification practices is acting as an influential role of over the recommended 25 SSM practices. The reason is in environmental management aspect of this ISO 14000 is one of the important, you can say, criteria to ensure the sustainable supply chain practices in mining industries. I hope everybody have the, we can say, awareness or having the experience. If you're walking the normal road and if you're walking in the, we can say, mines road, you'll get the lot of the dust energy and a lot of the, we can say, issues will be there. So getting the environment certification is not an easy process. That is a reason these sustainable supply chain practices are acting as a, you can say, influential role. Okay. So basically, because of this result, it is inferred that environmental management certification is essential for increasing the sustainability performance in Indian mining and mineral industries. Right. Then, so these are the practices we are considered under 6 categories. I told you. Under the supplier ISO 40 certification, supplier, we can say, complaint auditing, sustainable packaging, ask the suppliers to commit to waste reduction goals and use the life cycle analysis to evaluate the environmental friendly of products and packaging, provide the training to build supply environmental management capacity, cooperation with the suppliers for environment objectives. So suppliers means it's a third party out of the campus, out of the company premises, right? So we can consider the external one. Under the design category, what are the sustainable supply chain practices in the mining industries? Design products for the reduced consumption and materials and energy. Design the products to avoid or reduce the use of hazardous products and their manufacturing process. Okay. What is the fourth one of the design category under the design practices? Optimization of the process to reduce the solid, liquid, waste and emission. Design products with the biodegradable materials, design products with the recyclable materials. Similar way, management, customer, employee and the internal, right? So these are the some other practices will be there. I don't want to go over the in detail because of due to time constraint. I'm just going to the next one. So I told you, basically we want to find out which one is acting as the driving factor. So out of the 25, yes, suppliers ISO 14000 certification acting as a important sustainable supply chain management practices. So which will, if once you are implement these practices effectively, rest of the practices easily you can able to implement to achieve the sustainable performance. Okay. I told you this paper is published in the elsewhere. That is the resource policies. Okay. Now, the another aspect of the sustainability development. So another aspect of sustainable development, initially I discussed with the business model. Under the business model, technology one is the, which one? The lean production. That is a lean manufacturing. So I just want to show you how the sustainability and the lean is integrating. So what are the problem when we are thinking to eliminate the waste of the industries? So lean production means to make sure the zero waste, and also we need to make sure that zero non-value added activities are processed in our production or in our system. Okay. So what are the barriers for the lean production? There are 5 major obstacles to implement the lean within the small business include. What are the barriers? Insufficient management time to support the lean. That means they may, we can say, focus in the other areas, because that reason the management may not spend enough time to support the lean management implementation in the small and medium enterprises. Okay. Then sometimes not understanding the potential benefits of the applying lean. The management may not feel that, okay, this is a, if you are going to apply the lean concept, you are not able to get the immediate outcome. So I don't want to, as a owner of this company, I don't want to, we can support you. So better to go with the existing method of the management. So don't want to go for the lean management, right? Lean production, right? This is the another one problem. So next one is underestimating the employee attitude and resistance to change. That means most of the industry believe that the third parties who are come from the outside, they are doing a better instead of our own employees. So this kind of the underestimating the employee attitudes. And also they don't want to, they can say, change. They don't want to give the platform to the changes. And the insufficient workforce skills to implement lean. So the industry may not have the enough amount of the skilled people to implement the lean. And the last one is backsliding to old inefficient ways of working. See here, backsliding, we are trying to move up, but what happened due to some uncertainty, some backsliding, so it will, we can say, dilute our concept. Okay, done. I told you how the sustainability will be integrated with the sustainability will increase, we can say, integrated with the lean manufacturing. Sustainable lean manufacturing is the manufacturing of goods through the pollution and waste-free processes, which improve the environment and reserve the energy with a high economic impact, right? So triple bottom line. So triple bottom line will be called also triple P. What is a triple P? People, profit, that is economic, planet, and you can say out of this one, like I say, zero let down and zero defect and zero waste. Because we are considering only manufacturing, so we want to make sure that zero letdown should not be, you can say, any uncertainty should not be breakdown, and so we have to make sure that we are using the proper parameters, so no defective. And here also zero waste means waste is not just like the scrap. Waste means overproduction also waste, okay, over process also waste. There are 8 type of the waste will be there under the lean concept. We don't want to discuss that one. Basically, sustainable lean manufacturing, we want to integrate the sustainable triple bottom line with the lean manufacturing. Okay. What is the difference with the traditional manufacturing and sustainable lean manufacturing? Like I said, traditional manufacturing, sustainable lean manufacturing, when we are going for the sustainable manufacturing, we can make sure that zero inventory. What is the zero inventory? So inventory means we need to hold some material for the future use. But when we are going to make sure that the zero inventory, is it good or bad? Hello? Anyone? Can you tell me? When we are going to keep the...
Bad. I think zero inventory is bad.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure, but I think so.
No, ma'am. Actually, the zero inventory is always better. Why?
But then
we need
to be very handy. That is what.
Yeah, exactly. You are right. But before going for the zero inventory, we want to make sure that what type of the facilities we are having. Facilities means we need to make sure that our industry is supposed to FMS. What is FMS? Flexible manufacturing system. So these days the customers' demand is always increasing. So we need to, we can say, respond immediately. So zero inventory is quite possible.
Sir, can I say something?
Yeah.
Sir, I just want to say that zero inventory is good because actually in some ways the inventory we are keeping gets depleted in quality. So it might get bad.
That means we are talking about the life cycle of the raw material?
Yeah. That can be also taken in consideration.
Yes, you are right. Your good name, please?
Avnish, sir.
Avinash, see, you are right. But another one aspect is when we are going to forget about, see, that is also right. When you are going to, we can say, holding for the particular raw material for the long period, the life cycle may be the end, and also the way that finally we are not able to use that material. But another one aspect is when we are going to hold the material, that is a raw material for inventory, it will add the final price of your production. Because we are paying like I say, the space we are spending we can separate, we can say amount for the investor that particular raw material, and also based on the some space we want to hold it, and also we want to make the maintenance department, we want to make sure that the proper other energies means electricity, manpower, and next one is the
and we are also
record.
blocking the funds which can be put to a better use.
Yeah, exactly.
We can fetch more returns.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
there is no return in this fund that has been blocked into inventory.
Yes, but you're right. But still, why the people are holding the material? That is inventory. What was the reason?
So inefficient supply chain, maybe.
Exactly. They may not have the proper network. They may not have the efficient suppliers and manufacturer relationship. The otherwise, the supply we can say we can say industries and partners relationship. So this is because of this reason they are not able to, we can say, make sure that anytime uncertainty will happen. Uncertainty will lead the, can say, zero inventory. If uncertainty will lead the zero inventory, it is a stock out. If it is a stock out, no production. If the no production, then no work. If no work, so our image will down in the market. So because of this reason, people always will traditional way buffer inventory. And also traditional manufacturing long lead time, here the shortest lead time, because we are identifying in advance every operation, and the overproduction traditional manufacturing, because whatever the item is there, we used to produce immediately, and also we used to make sure the stock. And but here is a sustainable manufacturing is a focus on the sustainable aspect of the customer demand. We don't want to, we can say, go for the push type of the production. We want to go for the pull production. Pull production means all our the traditional, we can say, traditional activities will be ignored, and only the modern manufacturing activities will be lead. That is when the customer given the order, we need to do all the activities. Okay. Then here the high rejection will quite possible, because we are not concerned about the quality checking much, but here is the sustainability aspect. Quality checking is very important, zero defect. Why? Because it's related to the resources. The sustainability important aspect is to make sure that zero waste and zero defect. If the defect is there, then it is a scrap, so it is an unnecessary waste, so customer will not purchase your product. Then here whenever there is a breakdown, major breakdown, we will invite the maintenance, but here we will use the preventive, that is predictive maintenance. Instead of the preventive, we can go for the predictive maintenance with the help of the analysis, and we can go for the total employee involvement. Here the high manpower fatigue, total employee involvement, because we are make sure that the working environment is a very safe, and also we can say clean, and also they feel that their we can say economic aspect they're satisfied. And one more thing, traditional manufacturing, there is no recycle, but here is we are using the recycle, reuse, and reduce it, because the reason, so sustainable manufacturing better than the traditional manufacturing. Okay, sir, more I need the more exact definition of the sustainable manufacturing. Yes, very simple. Social, economic, and environmental sustainable manufacturing, right? So when you are going to include the other three activities, continuous improvement, that is called as Kaizen. Yes. Then improvement techniques. What are the improvement techniques in the agility, and also 5 years? In what way we are going to improve it? That and the qualitative product. So when you are going to integrate these with the sustainable manufacturing, it is called as a sustainable lean manufacturing, right? Then, so how why the sustainable lean manufacturing is important? Because we can able to avoid these kind of or we can able to give the solution for these issues. Employees dissatisfaction, global warming, high manufacturing cost, unskilled manpower, like government regulations, high inventory cost, like a lack of the innovation, like as a major breakdown, product failure, and defects, high energy consumption. These all the 11 factors are against to the sustainability. Once you want to give the solution for this one, then the only one method is a sustainable lean manufacturing. Okay. Now the final one thing, what are the roadblocks when we are thinking about the sustainable business? roadblocks means any concept or any we can say person or any concept or any person, always positive negative will be there. So we need to see that what are the negative or what are the we can say hurdles are available for the block the sustainable business growth. First one is high cost of the hazardous waste disposal. When we are going further, we can say every industry, so maximum industry, some hazardous item will be there, but the disposal for the cost of the disposal is high. Then cost of the sustainability and the ideal economic conditions, it is high, will be there, because it is a long-term aspect return, so huge investment needed. And the capacity constraint. Capacity constraint means it's related to the 4M. What are the 4M? Manpower, material, machineries, and method. I told you the research work and the discussion, I focus only where the small and medium enterprises. Such a small and medium enterprise, it is very difficult to, we can say, implement the sustainability just like that, because the problem is a capacity constraint. They may not have the enough funding, they may not have the enough resources skilled people. This is a capacity constraint. The next one is a lack of the financial resources and the budget to create the sustainable procurement. Why I focus here the specific sustainable procurement? Yes, if the procurement itself is the wrong, then whatever we are having the any methodology, whatever we are having the any kind of technology, everything wrong. Because the raw material is wrong, ultimately final outcome will be wrong, right? Then few innovative methods of the creating the sustainable structures, right? Only few innovative methods are creating the sustainable structure, so that we need to depend on them only. Then application of the old machineries. There is no application of the, we can say, old machinery, so we need to discard. So, but we are not able to discard because of we invested because of this mind. So it is difficult to go for the sustainable business. And lack of technological development. Lack of technological development. So lack of technological development means, I hope these days the Lean Six Sigma. Any idea what is meant the Lean Six Sigma? Anyone? Why it is implementing in the industries? Hello?
Yes, students, if you have any idea, unmute yourself and answer, sir.
What is meant by the Lean Six Sigma? Any idea?
So
Why it is?
Six Sigma is something that I'm aware of, but not about Lean Six Sigma.
Yeah, Lean Six Sigma these days are very famous. Six Sigma is make sure that the rejection should be zero, but should be zero. But it's practically it is not able to, we can say, achieve such a zero rejection out of the million parts manufacturing. Right?
So is it 0 or is it 3 out of a million?
Yes, but it is we can say,
almost equivalent to 0.
Objective. Yeah. Objectives like that. But what is the Lean? So identify the waste. Simultaneously, when we are going to, we can say, integrate. Lean means identify the waste and to make sure that the value added only. Six Sigma is a quality. So we need to do the value added activities in the to improve the quality, right? So such a technologies are available, but it is somewhat difficult to, we can say, hire those kind of the skilled people in the, kids say, industries with the higher pay, because they will not come with the, we can say, low pay. So this is also technology, we can say, lack of technological development, right? Absence of the innovation and the flexibility in supply chain network reason. I told you, if you don't have the good network with your suppliers and this wholesale and, we can say, retailers, then it is very difficult to make sure that the achievement of the business development in the sustainability view. So we need to make sure the flexibility and also some innovative way to bring the better benefit, reduce the price. Okay, next one is information and communication gaps. So maybe as a customer, I may expect something, but actually the in-between people, we can say, as a customer, whatever I expected, The information may not reach to the as a design engineer who actually going to give the shape of the customer idea into the actual parameters. So because of this information communication gaps, it will give the, you can say, bad impact. Okay, the problems in the supply chain coordination and collaboration. This is related to the partnership activities. I'm going to show you something for you. The next slide. Then limited access to market information. That means limited access means there is some roadblocks to identify the exact expectation from the customers. That's a market survey, maybe the not effective way, or kind of the, we can say, we are not going to motivating our customers to, I can say, share their experience with our existing product and services. This is reason limited access to market information. Then inappropriate workforce. That means we may have the n number of people in our industry, but those people may not have the information about the what is in the sustainable business, why it is needed. So that is an inappropriate workforce, also one of the roadblock, and the lack of a demand for the lower prices. See, customers they never come to industry inside to see what kind of our practices we are following to produce their product. They always find they always want to their product with a low price. But the sustainability business, when we are thinking about sustainable business growth, it is not easy to produce a product with a low price, but still customer will demand the low price. I am giving a small example. If you find any, we can say, supermarket, you will find the normal pulses, organic pulses, organic dal, something different price, and the normal dal is a different price. Organic dal is a something, you can say, higher price, normal dal is a lesser price. But still the common people expect the organic, you can say, agriculture related product also supposed to be the less price. But practically it is difficult to reduce the price. So this is another one problem in the sustainable business growth, right? I'm just going to show you some other thing about me. So far I did publish a paper in the 75 research paper. Out of this one, there's 54 papers are the international journals. That to all my papers are, we can say, SE and Scopus index papers, and the conference and the workshops are 17, international book chapters are 4, and my cumulative impact factor journal is 68.5. The research impact so far I have my citations are 2025. By mistake 2 is missed here. Scopus citation 1400 will be there, and in ResearchGate more than 10,000 people are read my research papers, right? So Gord madam is clearly point out what I am editing the special issue, but I want to action the same thing, just want the title. If anybody interested to submit the paper in the collaboration of among the supply chain channel partners for achieving the sustainability development goals in low and middle income industries, countries, especially in the Asian aspect. This title is proposed because of still the partnership is not happening in India and also China, because to achieve the good sustainability, when there is a good partnership there, the final outcome will be better. We proposed this title to the International Physical Distribution Logistic Management 1 year before, in 2018 end, but actually we got the acceptance in the 2020 only, this year only, right? It is a ABDCA category, and another one thing, a recent trend of the topic, that is a pandemic, COVID-19. Related to that one, we are editing one more special issue, resilience in sustainable supply chain in post-COVID-19 future pathways. It is an international journal of the logistic management. It is also one of the good journal in the management, and also we can say the engineering aspect. That is impact factor 3.325. It is a ABDC A category. Another one journal also we are editing, that's related to the role of third and fourth party logistics provided to support the sustainable development goals in developing countries. in the sustainable, that is an open access journal, MDPI publisher. It is indexed SAE and SSA impact factor 2.59. Then another one special issue I already we can say published, edited and published in 2019. International Productivity and Quality Management, IJPM Interscience. The title is a Green and Sustainable Practice in Supply Chain. If you see all my three special issue, it's exactly focus on the sustainability aspect only. The first one is a supply chain partner. Second one is what is the, we can say, issues during the pandemic situation, how we can able to make sure the uncertainty in the sustainable supply chain management. And the third special issue is what are the we can able to, what are the way we can able to, we can say, make sure that third party and fourth party logistic provided support to achieve the sustainability, right? So thank you. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I hope if I not wrong, exactly I finished the as per your given time.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. So I am expecting for some discussion. I'm always open for the discussion. If you have anything in your mind, want
Sir,
to discuss.
we have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do the archetypes in each grouping influence each other? Is there any interaction between the archetypes in each grouping, or they are mutually exclusive? If yes, then what is the nature of dependence?
No, basically, yeah. You are talking about this one.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Here, basically, it's a, we can say, it is interrelated. It is interrelated only. But when we are going for the, we can say, focused way, let's say, I'm giving the small example. Lean manufacturing. Basically, lean manufacturing related to the recycle, reuse, and remanufacturers. Because ultimately, we want to identify the waste, that is a waste to eliminate. So waste, in terms of when we are going to identify the waste, then we have to try to, we can say, reuse it. Because already we identified in the production, it is a waste. So in what way we can able to, we can say, make it the use. Interrelationship will be there. Okay.
Also, sir, we wanted to know what are the different research areas in sustainability, the untapped areas in sustainability.
Yeah, exactly. Let me actually, whether I prepared that one, unfortunately. So what are the areas? Nowadays, the circular economy and waste management. How we can able to achieve the sustainability with the help of the circular economy in the waste management. These days, lot of, we can say, government is initiating to achieve the better sustainability through the waste management activities, right? So these recently in the DST, Department of Science and Technology, government is India, they will announce we can say announce the one call for the project in the area of the waste management technologies only. And another one thing is supply chain partners to achieve the sustainability, where I propose the one special issue in the International Journal of Physical Logistics and Distribution Management, IJPDLM, right? Then another one good area is the sustainability achievement in the small and medium enterprises in the business growth aspect. Many research paper published a very generalized one, but actually in Indian aspect, it is not so far. There is no any particular research work on the what are the actual problem facing by the SMEs, in what way they can able to, we can say, become a sustainable business growth view, what kind of support needed. Like as in the government given the lot of the, we can say, schemes already they announced, but those schemes are, most of the schemes are available in the only in the papers, but the reality is not happen. So we need to find out the what are the, we can say, gap between the schemes and the reality, especially sustainable growth in Indian SMEs. Another one good thing is So far, I discussed with you people about the case study type of the work. So case study means it's a one particular industry, like a textile industry, mining industry, or any we need to do the, we can say, the in-depth study on the common network research framework, which will be like as a benchmarking study for the all the industries can fit in that framework, which will get the once they feed the we can say input, they get the we can say outcome in terms of what is their level of the sustainable achievement. Those kind of research work is better. Okay, these are the some areas. Another one thing is that these days industry 4.0, that is a fourth revolution of the industries. What kind of the, we can say, improvement bringing by the, what kind of the benefits we are getting when we are going to implement the industry 4.0 in small and medium enterprises. Why I'm giving this, why I'm stressing the small and medium enterprises, reason is in India, majority of industries only the SMEs, not from the MNC category. So that we need to focus on the small and medium enterprises aspect, right? And in industry 4.0, basically 9 pillars will be there. Out of the 9 pillars, which pillar will help the more, we can say, support for the SMEs to implement the sustainable supply chain practices to improve their sustainable performance. These are the some areas which will you can able to, which you will feel better, which will you can feel that these are the areas will get the better outcome in terms of research publication and in terms of the learning knowledge also, right?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And before we come to an end of this,
Any doubt or anything? Yeah,
Yes,
madam, any faculty
Parul,
member?
there is a question. There is one more question from Pooja ma'am.
yeah,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Madam, just sorry for the interruption. Before going to the end, I think we had a discussion. I told you, if anybody have the, we can say, questions like as a publication aspect, what is the problem for the, what are the problem you're facing the for the publication in the good journals, or any kind of the, we can say, issues or anything, you can discuss with me.
Sure,
So,
sir.
okay.
So the forum is open for the participants.
Yeah, faculties also, right? And
Yes.
the faculties and researchers also.
Yes, so the forum is open for you. If you have any doubts relating to your publication, any problem you are facing, or any research area you want to speak to sir about in sustainability, kindly go ahead.
Not only sustainability, general the publication aspect. Because
Okay,
I'm editor. I hope you. You hope. I hope you have the awareness. You have the some idea about my profile. I'm editor in the international journals, and also I'm associate editor in the Environmental Development and Sustainability Journal, where it is a 2.1 impact factor, the Springer. Every year we are getting the more than 3,000 submission. Actually, we are rejecting the more than 78% of the, more than 78% of the papers we are rejecting. We are actually giving the acceptance only 18 to 23%, not more than that. So you consume, like assume that like out of the 1,000 papers, we are giving that 230 papers acceptance, remaining 770 papers are rejecting. So reason is the structure is not correct, and also they are, you can say, they are taking the very casual approach for the proofread the papers, and also they are not showing the exactly nativity problems. Where I stressed on the Indian SMEs, like this, they are not, we can say, mention the such a nativity problem. They generalize writing the research paper, and they're trying to fill the number of pages. So these are the we can say problem for the, we can not getting the publication in the good journals. Yes, it's open, we can say, platform. You can ask the question if you have anything.
So ma'am, I request you to please ask your question.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The question which I've written on the chat box, ma'am, that can be shared with you. I just wanted to talk to sir. It indeed was a great session, and I'm really happy to hear you, sir. And so, my basically, I'm pursuing my PhD in sustainability marketing, and therefore, I have a lot of queries, and I requested the
Good.
host. I wanted
Sustainable
to
marketing. Good. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So, sir, one question that I have and what that I want to ask you, is there any preference given to empirical paper over descriptive paper by the generals like Scopus Index General, or is there the case?
Yes, I'll show you something here. I will share, we can say, give the answer with the help of the special issue. International Physical Physical Distribution, IJPD, Physical Distribution Logistic Management. Basically, these papers always will be, we can say, encouraged to submit the empirical paper. So it depends upon the what type of the journal we are targeting. And another one thing is what type of the problem we are taking. Let's say I'm giving the forms, production operation management journal. I hope that it is a topmost journal in the world. One of the topmost journal in the world is a form, that is a production operation management. That journal never expect the something the more number of the pages. They will expect the exact the problem. That is a unique. What kind of the contribution we are doing compared to the existing research outcomes. So it is a matter of the in what way we are formulate our research problem.
Okay.
Right.
Great.
So let's say I want, if you see this title, you'll come to know. Especially I focus on the collaborating. What is the collaboration among the supply chain management? We can say supply chain channel partners for achieving the sustainability. If I give this title alone, then it is very generalized. But I mentioned the low and the middle income countries, so that it is specific task. Understood, ma'am? It is a very specific one, right?
Okay.
So that it is, yes. Next question, please.
And so one more thing, like there is one the topic which I'm pursuing is the sustainability conscious consumers and individualism. So these are the concepts. But now still I have to identify good industries wherein I can take up this study. So what do you think, which industry could be the best for this kind of studies wherein the sustainability conscious consumers can act as evangelists?
No, but madam, your title is like as a consumers, right?
Yeah.
So consumers means we need to target what we can say. Consumers not in the industry aspect, but you can see in industry means basically there we can say producers. They may not be the consumers. So what we need to do, there is a lot of the offer platform will be there. But if you can say have any funding for the project fund, if you pay, then you will get the proper data. That means whatever you're proposing the questionnaires, it will be filled. But another one thing is you are right. Identify the right experts for our research work is important steps to get the good publications. Otherwise, what the people will feel that, okay, this is the Excel sheet data. It may not be the right one. So finding the right experts is an important one. So what we need to do, instead of going further, we can say the industries, but industries 99%, they always will come forward once you have the very good network. If you are going for just like that, most of the companies they never show interested to participate in your research work. The reason is they will ask the first question: if I'm going to spend the 1 hour, what I'm going to get?
Right.
So what are the benefit I will get it from your side? Whether you are going to we can say do the any free consultancy for me? No, I don't have time. Then similarly, I also don't have time. So, but if you have the good network, I told you, if you have the good network, like if you have some person, the known person in the such a company, like say manager, or we can say deputy manager, or kind of the general manager, then the experts will respond to your questionnaires, and also you can able to, when you are going to interact with them, then you will get a lot of the nativity problems, because the identifying the research problem is the heart of the research work. If the research paper is not, if you not identify the good nativity research problem, then ultimately it is very difficult to go for the reputed publications. Right, ma'am? So next question.
No, so thank you so much. Although I'll be having a lot of list of questions, but then thank you so much. It was great talking to
No,
you.
if you have a
The
time,
one more
if you have a time, not
one
an
more question that I put in the chat box was this: how just-in-time concept is different from the concept of the lean system concept and the Six Sigma. I just want to understand that is that the same concept, the just-in-time concept, and Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, sustainability Six Sigma concept is the
very
same
clear.
thing, or there is a difference?
Yeah, I will explain one by one. So your first question is what is the difference between the lean and the just-in-time?
Yes.
So under the lean, just-in-time is one tool. If you want to achieve the lean, the 5 years, confident, and just-in-time, these are the tools, basically. So it's a tools. It's a lean manufacturing is not a one activities. It is a collective activities of the tools like as a 5 years, confident, and guys on TPM. The next one is the just-in-time. These are the way, okay? And more specific, just-in-time means make sure that the zero inventory. The name itself, just in time. We need to produce items to the right time, right place at the right quantity. That is the primary concept of the just-in-time. Okay, what is the next question, ma'am? Lean and
Just that I've understood, because I was confused. I thought that just-in-time is also a process, but since you've already clarified that it is a tool, not a process, so rest of the answers are clear to me. Thank you, sir.
And also I provided the, I hope the madam is shared my email ID also. Madam, if
Yes,
you
sir.
not share,
I
please.
was looking for your email ID, and I would really love to talk to you some more, because you'll be.
Whatever you have doubts and
Ma'am,
mail
I'll
me.
share it with you. I'll
Yes.
share it with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So if you have any questions or any doubts, you can always welcome. Okay, welcome for the discussion. I will be very happy. Any other questions from your side? Any
Are there any
questions?
other questions from the participants? Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask, sir.
I don't think we have any more questions now.
Okay.
Okay, so sir, before I present my vote of thanks to you for your gracious presence, I would like to invite Ms. Roli Vadva to inform the participants about the upcoming conference at DME Management School.
Thank you so much, Parul, for giving me this opportunity. Good afternoon to all the participants. I would like to invite you, I would like to inform you about the upcoming conference which we are organizing. It is in the month of November. It is from 21st to 28th November. It is a global conference this time, since we have 10 international professors who will be joining us for the conference. The theme for the conference is remote working. I've also shared, you can go through the call for papers in the chat box. I had shared it some time back. I will share it again. So during this conference, there are excellent publication opportunities which are there. So in case, so basically you'll be having 4 publication opportunities. So we are in the process of tying up with Scopus journals. So you can get your papers published in Scopus. We also have a UGC CARE approved journal with us. So in case your articles get selected, they'll be published. in this journal. Apart from this, apart from the Scopus and UGC CARE approved journal, we have a journal with ISSN and a book with ISBN in which your articles can be published. You can go through the call for papers which I have sent in the chat window for all the submission guidelines. So 22nd October is the last date for submission of abstract, and 10th November is the last date for submission of full papers. So in case also so I am the convener of the conference. Along with that, we have Ms. Parul, who is the co-convener. So in case you have any questions, you can contact us. Our numbers and email, the conference email ID is given in the call for papers. So in case you have any queries, please feel to contact us. And please do send in your papers. It's an excellent opportunity for all of you. I hope to see all of you in the conference. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rolly. Thank you so much. So,
Okay,
on
ma'am,
behalf,
it's my best wishes for your, you can say, forthcoming
Thank you.
conferences. I hope it will give the good impact in the NCR.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So if you need any support from my side, let me know. I will do my
Thank
best.
you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
So, on
anything?
behalf of Delhi Metropolitan Education, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to you, sir, Dr. Mathiyazghan, for such an informative session. I'm sure all of us have gained a lot from this session, and it has opened a lot of avenues of research in the area of sustainability. I would also like to thank the honorable participants who blessed us with their presence. Last but not the least, a word of thanks is dedicated towards Director Sir, Dr. Purva Ranjan and Dr. Isha Jaswal for their constant support and guidance to conduct such workshops. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all, and have a nice evening
sir.
to everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
And
Thank you.
participants, before you leave, kindly check your chat window. A link of feedback form will be shared with you by Ms. Roli Vadhava. Kindly open it and fill the feedback form for this session. It will appear in your chat box shortly. Just copy the link and fill the form.
Parul, I'll just take 5 minutes to post the link for the feedback form. I'll just take 5 minutes.